The Croc Platinum Edition is out. That means it's finally time to strap on my running shoes, adjust them to sport mode, and burn some asphalt with the new time trials they've added. Something that is like a red rag to a bull for me, or a fourth bourbon and coke before driving home to any bogey. It's also a finally good enough excuse to cover the remaster itself and have a go at uncovering why most people had either never played the game or heard of it, or gave up trying to beat it because of its pretty blatant difficulty. And what I have come to understand is that it may very well not be down to incompetent gamers, myself included. But we will get to that in time trials. Now, I am a fiend for a time trial, especially in platforming, and I tell you what, I think we're gonna have some fun here. Let's see if we can do it. 1822. Is that silver? How is that silver? How is that silver? Oh. Okay, we nailed the target. We nailed the target. That's good. We did a bonus one. Yeah. I mean, I was expecting these to be somewhat challenging just because of, you know, how this game is. Oh wow, cool, nice. Just because of how this game can control a little funky sometimes. Kicking off with a pretty impressive start, we learn there is not only a gold target time to achieve, but a far more tricky bonus time as well, which, like the platinum times in Crash 3, mean absolutely nothing except for bragging rights. That's right, there's not even an achievement for doing them all, so of course, it must be done. Now, my main goal for this visit to the Gobbo Valley was to dominate the platinum times, but after having freshly played the game a few months back, I didn't quite have as fun of an experience as I thought I might. Now, don't get me wrong, I like to play this game. While it's largely for a reminiscent kick every year or so, every time I come back, I always leave with my tolerance for tanky, lifeless hopping over the shoulder of a cuddly reptile, slowly crushed by a hydraulic press. Is anyone else terrified of that guy? Or was it... Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were terrified of him. For those that don't recall or choose not to, Croc had some interesting controls back in the day, and he still does. A playstyle most fitting for the platformer genre. The only other platformer that comes to mind with a tank-style control scheme is Bubsy 3D, which is definitely not a good sign. Not to say a game is doomed for having it. While Croc doesn't deserve such a blasphemous comparison, there are definitely flaws with this chosen scheme that I don't think even the remaster's somewhat improved movement can account for. We now have the optional ability to move in a more traditional 3D platformer fashion, sending Croc in the direction we're pointing rather than the way he's facing. This absolutely seemed like it would change the game, at least when I discovered it back when the remaster first released, but it doesn't take all that long to understand. Maybe it's not just because of the controls that people don't want to look for any more Gobbos. He always reminded me of Cynthia because of his hair, or their hair. I just don't want to assume because they're a ladybug, you know. I don't want to misgender a ladybug, okay? Yas! 3242. Man, I don't know about you guys though. I don't give a single capital F about the Gobbos. I don't I don't think there's a single playthrough where I've actually got them all or cared to acknowledge their existence, even with their incessant yelling. The Gobbos just haven't really done much for me, you know, as a crocodile. I'm hoping there's a bit of leniency with the bosses. Oh! It's Chumley the Rocket Man. Easily the worst boss in the game by a fucking landslide. I could honestly recreate that in Blender in about 5 minutes. You'll come to realize, unless you've already done so, that Croc is a pretty lifeless adventure, which, as a longtime fan, having both the PC and PlayStation version as a kid, stings my poor heart to even say. But if we take out the rose tint and look a little more objectively, we are a few steps closer to Bubsy 3D than we might think. While I appreciate the cartoonish color combos and ambience of some of the areas, accompanied by an iconic soundtrack, I could not distinguish which level or potentially which world you were in if you took a snapshot of this game at any point, which I believe is mostly down to the very copy and paste nature of how it seems the levels, individual rooms were built. Okay, let's try it. Comment below what part of the game this is in. Are you ready? If you said level 1/3, you would be completely wrong because it was the main menu. You've never even been here. Case and point, Your Honor. Obviously we can't forget this is a remaster, so the only real expected criteria for this team to meet is the base game, with some polish, some upscaling, and some common quality of life features. So we can't expect a complete rebuild or any major changes to the core gameplay, but maybe there's some room for tweaking? Is this the level I'm thinking of? It is. Ugh. I hate that. The elephant is... I don't know what it is about that elephant that like always used to freak me out. There are still a few bugs present, at least from my experience, but the more notable ones were absolutely taken care of. My issue was with the newer analog control. For some reason, and I don't know if I'm just going insane here, but whenever I switched to using the newer control scheme, I felt like all of my jumps lost a minute part of their distance, making sections of the second half of the game feel a lot more like, did they play the game or just paint it? When you almost drop your control stick on the ground. Huh. Am I right, gamers?
Me when my bitch wife won't let me play 2K in the basement with my bros. You got documentation.
I cannot wait to get old so that I can commit traffic offenses and then it just be blamed on me being old. I'm gonna hit so many people. I wonder if they factor in for death abuse. Wait, what is that? This level stinks. I don't want to be overly mean, but I had to learn that using the D-pad tank style controls and jumping at a somewhat 45-degree angle was the only way to make certain jumps, which slowly revealed and was especially instilled at high speed with the time trials, that the difficulty of Croc is figuring out how to play the game, which, if I'm honest, is not a very fun experience, and everything just sort of clicked into place when I realized this. That weird gut feeling I would get whenever thinking about playing this game after forgetting about my last experience made so much more sense now. And as a platformer with little to no incentive to free the characters in the game's literal title or collect anything other than a sore tail from whacking that gong in prolonged frustration, the foundations here are an absolute accident waiting to happen, which kind of begs the question, if they remade Croc, is it still going to be a room-based array with a gradient, or are we going to aim a little higher? I just don't see much value in rebooting what we see here in its current form, but with the genre definitely headed in a positive direction, maybe there's some room for some faith on the horizon. Oh my god, why do I ever say fucking anything? Who needs Kevin lights and Croc? I've got piles of goopy socks. I like that. See now, that's what I might call bullshit. I'd like a refund on the invisible wall, thanks. Maybe that invisible wall is to indicate that I should be going up here first. Let's take that. Let's say it's a design W. Again, is it just thine voice that curseth thee? Is it merely speaking that curses my poor unfortunate soul? Epic time save opportunity. This week, Adam and the gang are going to test out poisoning people. Oh, this is the aforementioned. They fixed it! Yes! Thank the Lord. The hitbox on that particular sucker was absolutely busted. I don't know what is wrong with it, but it ain't good, man. It ain't good. I'm so glad I had what I needed. Oh, thank the Lord. First try. Hassle in the castle. Don't ground pound. Yes. Okay. I was pretty confident that would be fast enough. Okay, let's find out which one. If you guys in the comments can correctly identify which one the gobbo's in, and keep it to your fucking self, because I don't give a fuck, bro.
Oh, baby!
If that's not close enough, I'm calling the fire department and reporting a crime. Nice. We get that. Very good. Fosley's Freaky Donut. I'd love a bite of this. I will say nothing more, Your Honor. I will say nothing more if it pleases the court.
Now we're talking.
Oh! God run. Imagine he dies. Holy fuck, I almost did. Nice. Yeah, we're good. Wow. Nice. Can I just go? You can just leave? Had I known that, I would have done that in the first place. I don't think we're going to get that lovely first try. Oh, I will eat my words. Was it? It was probably very close to 2:30. I think we might be okay. Low key. Oh my lord, look at that. It is done. After tackling all of the main levels platinum times and stopping off to clear out the remaining secret ones too, I think it was pretty firmly cemented now that even with a nice new coat and some good challenge with the time trials, I don't think there's really much all else to admire with this game. I really try to put myself in the shoes of someone who's taken the time to collect and explore everything in this game until now. Someone who isn't that familiar with the trickier parts of the movement and platforming, dying endlessly but persisting nonetheless to reach the true final ending and saving every last one of those fluffy little shits. That person is not me, but if it was, and the culmination of my efforts was just a mashup of that copy and pasting we've seen too much of already, topped off by a grand finale boss fight that can be beaten in 13 seconds, making it the easiest fight in the game by the way, I would be pretty disappointed to say the least. You can make the game's textures photorealistic if you wanted, but it wouldn't change the fact that the soundtrack and appealing cartoon graphics are the only real notable features in this experience. And not that I want to salt the wound, but most of the unique characters we see are kinda hideous. Obviously simple because of performance priority, but still, they're ugly. I really think that the Platinum Edition, despite being completely free and much appreciated, it should have just been in the game when it first released a few months back. Maybe it wasn't quite done, or maybe this was a reaction to direct feedback from the community. I don't know. It sort of felt like a reason to draw attention to the remaster again once the hype died down, but regardless, I think most of my issues revolve around the first iteration and the original game anyway. With all these complaints in mind, I just want to reiterate, I still like to play this game. I don't know if it's the masochism in me, or just because I'm familiar with it, I don't know. I'll still end up returning to ignore many more gobos in the future. Speaking of, I'm going to be starting a series soon where I get the chance to dive into games I've never played or never got round to finishing, called Better Late Than Never. I figure it was worth bringing up not just to plug it, because I'll likely cross paths with Croc 2, which I've never played and I'm not sure why. But I'm hoping some of the criticisms I have for the first game may have been addressed in the sequel. Oh my god, why do I ever say fucking anything?